Well, I'll do all that certainly, but let me first give you an overview of Midshore.
Okay.
I haven't talked to you or your audiences over the last year or so about the other things that we've done, and we'll get to the hospital
Okay.
because, to your point, it is the largest commitment we've ever made and probably ever will make, as a matter of fact. But let's talk about Midshore. Midshore is a very interesting organization. It was founded about 33 years ago. $236,000, which came from the United Fund of Talbot County, to support 5 counties here on the Midshore and a community foundation. We're now some $165 million in size. And we're a 501c3. We're totally transparent and public. Anything anybody wants to know about Midshore is either on our website or they come to the office and they can get it. Everything is available for folks to look at. The important thing is our mission statement is really clear. It's quality of life here for the 5 counties on the Eastern Shore. And certainly a big part of quality of life is health care. That's the hospital, which we'll get into in just a minute. But I thought your folks might be interested in some things that have happened at Midshore over the last year. One, the growth. The growth has gone from about 137 million about a year ago to 165 million. Contributions we received this year, tremendous. It's about $34.5 million. And contributions to us are not having fundraisers. Contributions to us are individuals and organizations and estates making funds available for health care or whatever that benefits the folks in the 5-county area. Our grants and scholarships this year, they're going to be about $14 million. That's up from about $8 million the prior year. And our scholarships are important. I'll talk about that because we have a very important scholarship that certainly I'm passionate about, and I think most everybody in the area can be. But let's talk a little bit about the hospital, to your point. The commitment is $3.8 million, and it is a 5-year commitment. We've made payment number 1 already. We will make payment number 2 very shortly in July. We have the funds massed for payment number 3. So we're already way ahead of that 5-year commitment. But it's interesting the way my board went about doing it. And it was a really cooperative effort from board members. There are 32 in total throughout the 5 counties. Our grants committee was important, certainly, because that's where it all started. Right. The hospital did come to us with a request, and we had it reviewed by our executive committee first. We decided absolutely, with our mission quality of life, Midshore should support the new hospital. So we have component funds at Midshore Community Foundation. I alluded to that just a minute ago. And we have some 620 of them, all various purposes. But a lot of those funds that we have, certainly some of the larger ones, give us the ability to do quality of life and help those folks here in the 5 counties. Several that really stepped up. We had 15 funds in general that came to our call and said, yes, we're a component fund of Midshore, make our contribution part of Midshore's contribution. Midshore was the biggest contributor, as you might well imagine. We're in it for $1 million over the next 5 years. We had 3 other funds that really stepped up also. The United Fund of Talbot County, they stepped up with $600,000. That's a 5-year commitment also, which is sizable. Maggie Faree, those of you that have been in the area for a while will remember Maggie Faree. One of her real passions was the hospital. We have a nice relationship with her advisors and the fund at Maggie Faree. That's $350,000. We have another fund that came into Midshore, the Miller Fund, and it's for senior folks, 65 and older, and in Talbot County. It's a very large fund. It's almost $7 million in size. And that fund is also in for about $250,000. With Midshore leading it, with our $1 million, there were 15 other funds that pooled, thus the $3.8 million over the next 5 years. Another thing that I'm diligently working on, we have a brand new hospital, bricks and mortar are going up. If you've been by Hogneck, you can see it, which I think is great and sorely needed. But the healthcare professionals to support that hospital. Everywhere in the country, we have a shortage of healthcare professionals. And it's not just doctors and nurses, it's all the related techs that support them so they can do their work. We started a healthcare scholarship, and here's how it started. About 3 years ago, a director of mine from Chestertown called me and said, we have a crisis. Healthcare professionals. What can you do about it? I said, well, let me think about it. So we run Midshore like a business, and when we create surpluses, which we do, they go to make more grants and scholarships. So the audit was finished, certified, presented. I went to the board and I said, will you give me $100,000 for a healthcare scholarship fund? They said, do it. So we searched around that first year and we got another $150,000 from various sources. So we had $250,000. Those scholarships that first year were $5,000 to $17,000. They're one-year scholarships. You can reapply. $5,000 will create a CNA at Chesapeake College. They are in huge demand, CNAs. Plus we had other related techs. This year was a little different. This past summer, a lady that I had met prior to COVID, I don't remember exactly when, called me and she said, I really like what Midshore does. And she said, I'm going to send you a check for $250,000. And I said, well, thank you. What do you got in mind? She said, no, what do you have in mind? I said, healthcare scholarships for the Midshore. She said, do it. So this year we had our seed money, $250,000. And in total this year, we had $550,000. And those scholarships ranged from $5,300. One of them was $35,000. And again, they're one-year scholarships. They can reapply. So we're working on that diligently. Every year, we do feel committed to do those healthcare scholarships. But we do a lot of other scholarships too. You know, it's going to be about $2 million in total this year. Healthcare is going to be about $500,000 of it. But this last year we had 268 applications, the 5 counties, and they're traditional. They're the high school graduates. That's what we call them. We have non-traditional scholarships. They're the scholarships for career and technology, as an example, those that are retraining. And we had about 133 of those this year. But that was a total of about $2 million in total. Another thing.